This new R-rated reboot of Hellboy might be the worst movie of the year, if not for a Medea family funeral.
I know it's about funerals. I done buried a lot of men. A lot of them.
That funeral gonna be messed up.
It's the kind of bafflingly bad premise where you just have to stare in disbelief and wonder who thought any of this might possibly be anything close to a good idea. The movie stars David Harbour as Hellboy. I will say this, Harbour does alright. He's no Ron Perlman, but that's an impossible standard. Harbour had the potential to carry this movie, but the movie fails him hard. Hellboy is half human, half demon. He works for the Bureau of Paranormal Research and Defense. One of his friends is sent to Mexico to destroy a vampire nest. No one has heard from him, so Hellboy goes to track him down and finds that he's been turned. He ends up in a wrestling match with his former friend where he accidentally kills him. This opening isn't the worst thing ever. It establishes that Hellboy is very powerful and very sloppy, but also that he cares and tries to do better. However, it also introduces some major questions about this world. Hellboy is seen fighting a vampire who looks like a man-bat hybrid in this world, in full view of an audience who is sharing it on social media. Hellboy went to efforts to conceal himself going into this event. Did he just expose the world to the supernatural? Does the world already know about the supernatural? Will any of those questions be answered? Of these three, I can only answer one after watching the movie. Early on, Hellboy is asked to help a group called the Council of Osiris hunt some giants. This ends up being a trap. They lure Hellboy out, and when he's not expecting it, they stab him in the back with a spear that protrudes through his chest. This injures Hellboy. It doesn't kill him, it injures him. Again, this movie doesn't explain the rules of this universe. Hellboy is our protagonist, and for all intents and purposes, the movie just told us he can't be killed. If Hellboy has different weaknesses to normal humans, that needs to be explained in the narrative. The result of having a protagonist who cannot die is the death of any tension or suspense. Hellboy ends up inadvertently saved by the giants he went to kill. This leads to another action scene wherein he kills the giants, which again begs the question, do the people of this universe know about these supernatural beings? Surely giants roaming the countryside won't go unnoticed. Is this our world? And if not, why is this world's culture essentially identical to ours if people know about these creatures? Anyways, he eventually ends up with a bandage where he was stabbed in the shoulder and the abdomen, but no bandages for his heart. I guess it wasn't a serious injury. He regroups with his adoptive father, here played by Ian McShane. McShane is a great actor and completely wasted in this thankless role. Before they tried to kill him, the Council of Osiris told Hellboy that his adoptive father, Broom, intended to kill him when he first appeared on Earth. We get a flashback sequence that looks nearly identical to the prologue of the 2004 movie, right down to recasting the three main villains of that movie. We also get a cameo by Thomas Hayden Church as Nazi killer Lobster Johnson, who appears only here and in the mid-credit scene and has zero impact on the rest of the movie. Sadly, Church's best comic book movie is still Spider-Man 3. Anyways, if you remember 2004's Hellboy, the Nazis open a portal to hell before the Allies attack the site, and there Hellboy is found by Professor Broom. The reveal is that the plan was to kill anything that escaped through the portal. When Hellboy escapes the portal, Broom has a gun pointed right at him. However, he orders the others to lower their weapons and raise the demon child himself. The reason why all of this is relevant is because Hellboy is enraged that his father had at one point intended to kill him, ignoring the fact that he didn't, and that the plan of killing anything that escapes from hell on face value isn't the worst idea ever. He decides to use this as an excuse to be an asshole to Broom. Then Broom, rather than simply explain himself, chooses to be an asshole right back. Since we're talking about assholes, Daniel Day Kim is in this movie, and his character hates Hellboy because he views him as a monster. Ironically, he is a were-cheetah, which makes him a monster, so we're probably dealing with some self-hate, but that's already probing deeper into the psychology of these characters than this movie does. So instead, he's just an asshole like most everyone else. He fits in well. I guess I should have said spoiler before revealing he's a were-cheetah. Regardless, since we're already into spoilers, did you know Hellboy is the last living descendant of King Arthur? It turns out his mother was of Arthur's bloodline, and she fell in love with a demon. Young love can be so cute. Did that spoiler seem to come out of nowhere? Well, that's how it's revealed in this movie. A big complaint about Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald is that it has setups with no payoff. Well, this movie has payoffs with no setups. It's convenient that he is of Arthur's bloodline, since the main villain, Nimue, Milla Jovovich, can only be harmed by Excalibur. Oh, and by the way, Excalibur is discovered during the final fight, so that all ties together neatly. Before Nimue is killed, she manages to kill Professor Broom in front of Hellboy, but he becomes a ghost that can advise Hellboy for a bit longer. And if you thought Will Smith's Blue Genie looked bad in the Aladdin trailer, you have to check this ghost out. This particular ghost looks like Mr. Hanky with Ian McShane's head pasted on top. It's quite a sight to behold.
I'm not hearing that. Mr. Hanky?
Howdy ho!
2019's Hellboy is a complete garbage fire of a movie. If you have a Hellboy craving, stay at home and watch the original movie. It's cheaper and a much better experience.
Hey, if you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. And if you really love this video, consider visiting my Patreon page.